Welcome everyone. This is Kubeflow CNCF graduation call on 3rd of June. This meeting will be recorded and published on YouTube, but this meeting is governed by the Kubeflow Code of Conduct. So we have a few things today to discuss and update, but before we get started, do we have any new people here on the call who just want to introduce themselves? Just want to say hello. I can see if you know. Yeah. David, do you want to say hello?
Yes, actually, sure. I'm David Simmons. I'm recently joined the Red Hat office of the open source program office as a community architect for AI, and I'm just here to help in whatever way I can.
Excited to meet you.
Thanks for joining. Yeah.
I've been expecting you.
Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think like maybe we could start with a quick update. I know we have a few things in the last 3 weeks around and the issues that have been created. Thank George for this, by the way. So we went through these issues and we marked them to the CNCF graduation labels. I know we need to kind of have some more high priority to low priority tasks, right? So I guess like we just give a few updates. We started security audit last week. So I had a few sync with folks from OSTIF, right, Francisco?
Yep.
Am I correct? Yeah, OSTIF. Yeah, so they will do the third-party security audit for our tools and projects, and we already kind of kick off this work with them. So right now, I think they will be waiting for us to fill the questionnaire. I think we almost fill all the questions there. The only kind of remaining questions from them is, do we use any dynamic analysis tool? I know there's been discussion around whether we should use GitHub or anything else. I guess like again, do we want to talk about it right now? Or I can just go over the items, what is required for the security audit?
Go over the items, but do you mean things like CIF scanners and stuff and GitHub Actions, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think GitHub Actions is separate, but I think what they're expecting for us to have is some sort of tool, so how people can report vulnerabilities, right?
So let's just
Mhm.
I mean, I've reached out to the CNCF asking about HackerOne and kind of what Kubernetes uses. I think
Mhm.
GitHub isn't going to scale particularly well for the project based off my investigation of it, mostly around permissions. But I do think we will need another project or tool, just so that we can actually have permissions and triage groups and things like that. I feel like HackerOne is a good thing to investigate. I haven't received a response back from the CNCF though, so I need to follow up with that.
Okay. Again,
We can also just
yeah.
apply to the HackerOne group because they just sponsor
Yeah,
open source
I
code.
just, from my point of view, we should do what is simplest and quickest one, and we can always migrate, right? I think if GitHub just easier to just move forward right now, we should just move
I
forward
think
and then
my
migrate,
reasoning against GitHub
right?
is that to be able to see reports on GitHub, you have to have maintainer access on the repo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the access we can figure out. So I checked the recording, so you discussed it last week. From my point of view, I don't have a strong concern to give one working replete, maintainer access to the repos, to be honest. Like we
But
can talk
but
about
what I'm
it.
saying,
Yeah.
my concern is
Yeah.
not that. It's more that like if we have it per repo, like
Mhm.
where does someone raise the issue, right? Because it's like, how do I
Yeah.
make it so that I can somewhat like there should be a security triage team which says first like, is this even just real or not, spam or whatever?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, which working groups need to see it and which don't? Like it's
I
a
think
Oh,
so.
we could
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah. Go ahead, George.
Oh, we could figure that out. Let's note that down,
Mm-hmm.
I
and
don't
then
think
we
we can
can
do that
like
with
move
GitHub.
on
What
to
I'm
the
saying is,
next one.
yeah, I agree, but I just don't think we can do that with GitHub. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's okay, but again, from my point of view, and others can comment, but I don't see a strong kind of concern that others, the people who we trust, can see those vulnerabilities. Because overall, we work with the same kind of, like we're building these tools to build platforms, right? So those tools can be, like secure, and those tools can work in a way that people can build their production grade platforms, right? Which means like ideally maintainers should be involved in multiple projects. This is not what's happening right now, unfortunately. So a lot of people, like, they involved in many projects, but ideally we all should work together, right? As a
It's not
community.
about, so it's not even about
Yeah,
security though. It's about making sure that we actually respond to the issues. Like
yeah,
it's like
that's right. That's
it's
right.
more like if there's just like many places you could raise issues where it's like how do we even validate that it's real? Like there is
Nice.
something to be said about having bounties in some cases if companies want to put bounties up. Um, there's also like, oh, I want to give this developer access to this issue, but not the rest. Like, I think there is some value to having a secure out-of-band communication system, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just note it and
Yeah.
table it because we've got
Yeah.
the other items that are more on fire.
Yeah, so I think again also on this OSTIF part audit, like we kind of define which projects are in scope. Do we want to discuss it right now? Like Francisco, John, or
Yeah, I think we should.
yeah, I think so. Like what basically like we want to give them a list of projects which will be in their scope to define to actually perform security audit. So for this, we really define like 6 projects under our, like tool set or like, foundation, what is like part of Kubeflow, which is, I don't know, do we want to speak about it right now or what do you think?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so again, those projects really address like, specific problems of, ML lifecycle. And there are like, trainer, Katib, model registry, notebook, Spark operator pipelines. So the core part of Kubeflow. So I can maybe copy paste it here, Matthew, for you. Let me make a note. Yeah, this one, right? I know there is kind of like some rebranding coming in, right? You working on workspaces right now, Matthew, right? I don't know, uh, similar to what we are working on trainer, like, do we want to ask them to do audit on the new projects then, or any kind of maybe thoughts from your side, from Notebooks Working Group perspective?
It's a bit from a Notebooks 2.0 is a full rewrite. My concern is that it will replace the original, but in November it's going to be like a test release. You know what I mean? It's probably going to
Yeah.
be by the time, and so like we're only targeting for KubeCon as the announcement of GA, you know? So like my concern is that, I mean, while a security audit would be nice before then, I worry that it would block the other thing that we want to do, which is graduate if there's problems which are because it's not a released tool yet. You know what I mean? Like it is way
Yeah,
more
so we-
secure though. I do
yeah,
think
yeah.
it is more secure, but that is separate.
Okay, makes sense.
So I don't know, maybe how do we what are you doing with trainer?
Yeah, so we actually will release it this week. This or next week. So for us, kind of easier. Um, yeah, so
But won't they be doing on the route itself, like rather than on a specific branch or release as such? Like how do they do that?
yeah, I mean how we give them the branch, right? We can give them
Like
a
so primarily it should be on a main or whatever it is, right? So it doesn't matter, right? Like if we can point out to the repo and rest, they will handle it.
yeah, so the goal was to move notebooks code to notebooks v1 branch, right? So I guess like this work also needs to be some sort of prioritized so they can start to analyze the code, right? If you want to work with notebooks 1.0, right? From the notebooks working group. But I think we can point them to wherever place like where code is located, right?
Also,
Right.
it's
That's
more
what
likely to be in the 1.10 branch anyway, because that's the one that's released, right?
Yeah, but I think like we will migrate the like the master branch from Kubeflow to Kubeflow notebooks, right?
Yeah,
So
we will, yeah, but it's more like the actual released code is in 110 branch, right?
yeah, I think it's okay. I think I don't. Yeah, Julius, go ahead. Go first, and I can make my points there.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether the notebooks version wants the neat dashboard to even function. I'm not sure whether you voted on excluding dashboards from the graduation process or whether we have voted.
Yeah, so notebooks 1.0 really, depends on dashboard, right? So it needs to have dashboard, and I don't think for security it really requires for them to really understand those things, right? I can ask them, uh, but again, we really try to explain what is the value of Kubeflow within CNCF ecosystem, right? Like the as we discussed, like dashboard, it's kind of like it's a tool that for them to like use all those ML projects together, right? But it doesn't give a lot of ML and AI value, right? Which means like it's hard for us to define the value of dashboard and why we should graduate it, right? Because I think Jono has kind of better like explanation here.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I think I can share 2 cents kind of quickly too, and like I've also Spark and Kserve aren't in this list as well, and so like I think we're scoping it down to just what's required for graduation. That's not to say how we'll position Kubeflow at KubeCon, where we will include those other things, because like how are we useful if we don't have an inference component, right? How are we useful if an admin can't like look at the dashboard? But that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to graduate it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think this is what I want to talk to you, Josh. Like we discussing with steering committee. I know you want from us to understanding what is Kubeflow really. We're working on this right now. We have a first meeting today, and we're gonna have a next week gonna give an update, and we will give a clear explanation of what is Kubeflow for audience. But we really want to open us an opportunity. We know that Kserve right now doing their own incubation process, right, going on. But we still see that the Kserve is an important piece of the Kubeflow foundation. But for the graduation perspective, it will be out of scope, right? I hope that makes sense, right? Like what makes
Yes.
sense for users, or
Yep.
what makes sense for CNCF, right?
Yep. I think everyone in the process is aware of how complicated this is. So,
Yeah,
there's going to
that's
be
right.
Venn diagrams and stuff overlapping. I think that will be fine.
That's right. So again, the goal for us is to graduate as fast as we can and define the scope as fast as we can. So just make it clear for all of us what we do right there, or what is the value, right, of the project.
So you're saying steering will give us a definition of Kubeflow
Yes.
By next week.
By next week. Can we get that in the note? Can I get that in writing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get it in
Thank
blood.
you.
Good one.
And
do I
here's
understand?
my promise. If we don't have an answer by next week, I'll step down. That's my
No,
Oh, good one.
no. I know where you're going with that. Let's not do
This is
that.
yeah.
All right, that's fantastic. Okay, yeah, excellent. Sweet. What's next?
Yeah, so I think so about engineering principles, right? So not engineering principles, the GTR, right? General Technical Review. So we need to start a Google Doc, right, and answer those questions for you, George. Is it correct, like for what is in scope, right? I think Mateo, let me point you this issue so you can open it. One second. This one. 859.
Well, that's that's actually his screen. Yes, there you go.
So I was suggesting to create a Google Doc so that anyone can add answers to that, right? Because it's a long document. Some needs
Yes.
real technical depth as well.
Yep.
So we will add more details there if we have our Google Docs.
Just make sure we don't split brain the application and the Google Doc itself and confuse ourselves.
I thought for some reason, okay. So like we want to create a doc with this in it. Is that right?
Yeah, just for collaboration, right? Otherwise, it would be really difficult to collaborate.
So then let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah, make sure you use that Google Doc Markdown functionality, and then you're going to paste it back. Because that text in that is the actual raw text from the application itself. So I'm hoping we could just copy and paste it over.
Let's find out. We're doing it live.
But I think like we still need to have answers for all those questions, right?
We do, yeah. That's why a working document is useful.
Yeah, because some are technical. We have done something similar for case as well. So some are technical.
The warning I'm telling you is make sure you leave placeholders in place so that someone shows up and starts editing the Markdown document and someone else edits the Google Doc, and then we're doomed.
Yeah, but I think we should also share this with the Kubeflow discuss as a comment. Is the not editor, but
absolutely. You want as much feedback, do all of that stuff.
Yeah, we'll do it after. So, but from my understanding, Josh, but if I'm wrong, but your kind of application, kind of summarization of all the issues that Valentina created before, right? Like you have an updated information there. Like for example, right? Like your issue 859, right? Has a similar questions that we have for like 850 issue, right?
Engineering. This is like, I think we have broken it up into sub tickets, right?
Yep. This ticket, engineering principles is replaced by the GTR.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. So let me just do that explicitly.
Yeah.
So what about other contributors and community, governments and maintainers, and
all of those sections are applied. This is a new change in the talk. That's why it's weird.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So what
is
we did with
other-
Bob is we cheated, and he told me that the GTR is going to replace engineering principles. We're just
Mhm.
going to do it first, so that by the time we get to the talk, we've already.
And
Yeah.
so other like contributors and community and governments and maintainers needs to be there, right?
Yeah, those are all sections of the general application, so you can split those up however you want.
Okay.
Like,
So
So
then
I
I
can
guess
say. So go ahead, Andre.
no, I guess we can just close 850 then, right?
Yeah, I already closed 850. But so like we can just say closed by 859 for ecosystem, right? Okay.
Yeah, ecosystem needs to be there, right? Oh no, ecosystem needs to be there from Discord, right? Isn't it?
No. Yeah, Jorge said that we can just
no,
close.
it replaces the engineering principles is what the GTR replaces. All the other sections.
Oh,
remain.
all the others stay open. Oops.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
And I guess for the priority perspective, George is the high priority, right? To answer those X questions, right, for GTR.
Yes. However, the security self-assessment is your top priority.
Yeah, that's right. But I guess this
Yeah.
is like happening like async, right?
Right.
Right.
Yes. Exactly. The reason I'm mentioning it, I'm paranoid about this security self-assessment is I saw a partial one somewhere, and also that should have been done at incubation. So that feels like a.
Yeah. So I think like what Ostif told me like is going to be like collaborative environment because some of the things needs to be addressed, right? On us.
Yeah.
So they need to give us a feedback as fast as we can so we can solve those problems, right? If there are any problems, right?
Yeah. I think what we haven't done, which I'm hoping that we start to do, is I know you've accomplished some of these already, but the application is still like I don't know where we stand.
I honestly think that most of them are. Like when I was going through them last time, the only stuff that, again, some projects might be different.
Yeah.
I think that, so that's also the other question as well. Are we doing it per project or are we doing it overall and things like that? But the like the only part that we really don't have is like the security disclosure stuff. That's like the main thing. But from a technical perspective, like most of the stuff we're doing, maybe there isn't documentation pointing to exactly how it's done in every repo, but it is mostly done.
Right.
I think that this is what we've said kind of a few weeks in a row too, as well. It's like we have it just kind of scattered. We just kind of have.
Yeah,
to like,
we need to start closing the check boxes because the issue is like as
And
the talk and
how
stuff
are we-
sees the issues, they're gonna be like, oh no, Qflow's at 0%.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna apply for graduation at the end of July? So I want to kind of I don't know where we am I the only one who doesn't know exactly where we are?
We have 0% done. Right?
I think we can. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we just need to tackle those checkboxes, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
Let's.
Where
I know
we so this is the important piece. Where are we putting that? Is it in this document? Is it on the issue or?
And also, is that document for overall or what is that for?
I think this is what we need to discuss. And I think like so looking at the question that George has in the doc, right? For example, like describing the roadmap processes, how scope is determined for mid to long-term features. So we have multiple tools, right? They live independently, but I think we've been doing this for like many years, but we try to at least follow the same principles. For example, right, we have this CAP process. Well, what we try to adopt everywhere, right? Across all those, foundation of Kubeflow, right? Different projects. The second thing, we have honors, right? Honors, they are the same for every project, right? The government structure is the same, right? We can, again, if some of those statements make sense to be project specific, we can, just answer the project specific, but some of them we can, answer broadly, right? Does make sense? Like,
I think you're correct, but what we need to do then is clarify projects. These are the projects. These are the incubating projects.
Yeah.
These are like the partner projects. And then for projects, we agree they have a working group as the top level owner.
So six of them, right? It's six of them.
You know what I mean? But like what I'm saying is like in your description then when you answer proving that we've completed that task, it's like do you have like governance or like code controls? It's like, well, yes we do, because the flow is this. We have 6 projects. The projects are owned by each of these working groups. The working groups designate owners.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and then the owners have
right.
different levels of permissions that are relevant to the application. And then that's the wording. Like that's all they and then we can right. And that's what the talk
So what we
wants,
need to do is put that either in the application in GitHub or in the Google Doc. That's up to y'all how y'all figure
You
it
know what I'm
out.
saying? That like, because as long as we agree that that doc is for everything, and then we
Sure.
like every question is answered in the context of thinking about it as those top projects, and then we can, as long as we agree that there are two categories of projects, you know, there are like, I don't know what we're gonna call them, projects and incubation projects. I don't know.
I don't think we need this complexity, Matthew.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think we. I think we should forget about.
Are we just gonna ignore the other
And
projects?
Minimum
Again-
viable graduation, y'all.
And yeah,
we have six projects, right? Microservices, right? 6 of them. That's it. Like, how are we going to explain to CNCF what are those 6 projects? It's up to us, right?
I mean, I would be fine with just graduating pipelines and saying like that's enough if that'll
Oh my God.
accept that.
No.
Like, we
So
should.
are we?
Good.
So are we open to later on graduate as many projects as sub
Yeah.
projects as we want?
I think that part's probably fine. I don't know what that means after. Like again, there's
That's what needs to be in the doc then. How we would do that, even if we don't specify what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So let's table that because we're getting distracted from the
Yeah.
the key.
Can someone ask me for advice because I can't tell you what to do?
Yeah.
What do you want?
What would you do?
Thank you for asking. All of the stuff that you would said, I would write in 3 sentences, literally paste it into the document, and do as best you can to fill those out according to what you have. Then, as you post them to discuss and amongst ourselves, we argue about that text asynchronously. You know, like we should literally write down, here are the 6 projects, right? And then we have that in there. And then we work on that wording. And then we work on, basically, instead, discuss a topic, get the consensus, paste it into the application. And then as we do them top to bottom, it will start to make sense and we'll be able to realize where we need to fill in. Does that make sense to people?
Yeah, absolutely. We should start to do this week.
Right.
And should just, make our suggestions here. We can, you can put even your name if you want to discuss it more in this
Right.
that Francisco created. And then finally,
Just for clarity, so for example, there are questions on does it upgrade, like how do you support installation upgrade? So what do we talk about from an individual, purely from a kind of like a very high level, just say that which is applicable for all the different projects?
My proposal is that what we say Kubeflow is the selection of tools which can be comprised into a platform.
The steering committee is discussing this already, so
I agree, but this is something that like affects literally everyone, right? Like it's something that people need to be aware of
No, I'm specifically asking about the questions, right? Because when we have multiple projects here, so how do we plan to add answers to that? Like, can you just take one example there, Francisco? Just scroll down, please. Like, if you just talk about like installation or like different questions, right? It is applicable to all the different projects, right? Can you just scroll down? Like, there are many questions there, right? The one
I think
installation
for this,
upgrade.
we can define 2 options, right? Users can deploy components separately, right? Is a standalone, is a microservice, right? And we can provide a link to the Helm charts and to the manifest, right? And then we can say, or they can use distributions, or they can use Kubeflow manifest, which is the combination of all these microservices, right? That's it.
I think we just need to have higher. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, please.
For Kubeflow manifest, for example, this is mostly solved and described. For individual projects, to some degree, depending on the project.
No, it's solved. Like all of the projects can be installed.
Yeah, correct.
Right. I think just to avoid confusion, I think we just need to talk about from a manifest perspective, purely from a very high level, talking about like rather than going into individual projects, right? Like I think like that will be too verbose and it will just add lots of confusion. I don't know for these questions.
I think it's the same.
Josh, is it really like for CNCF, is it really important for them to go over details, or you just need to have a high level understanding that the projects can be installed? Like
I don't think so. I think that's why I'm thinking like just make it simple, right?
Jorge can tell us.
Minimum viable graduation.
Yeah.
Even these questions here are relatively complex for Kubeflow.
No, I think that stop making it hard because it's hard for Kubeflow. Like if it's like we have statements about these things, like it can be installed. Just point to the GitHub manifest or the
Correct.
GitHub install document.
Yeah. I think we let's try to answer from a very high level, right?
Yeah.
As a Kubeflow as a whole, and if it is really required, just a deep dive. Otherwise, I think better to skip.
I agree. I think we're making it harder on ourselves than we need it to be, and so like, let's just uniformly stop that.
I'm pretty sure that this is so that someone can actually install it to do the review, though.
No,
That's why
I
the
doubt that they're
technical
going to
review asks for an install, right?
No, the reviewer's not going to ask for an install.
Are they
Right.
are they going to try and install it?
No, I don't. I wouldn't think so. No.
No
So
way.
here's what the talk measures in their criteria. Are you doing what you say you do? Right. That's it. So like, if installation is like a hornet's nest right now, we know it is, right? You could say there are multiple things, blah 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 blah, to install Kubeflow. Here's a link to that documentation, right? And then we move on to another item. And we just recognize that one is on full.
We already have this documentation. I don't know what we're talking about, to be honest.
It's
We
on
already
the
defined
website.
this.
It's on
Oh,
the
dude,
website.
if we already have it, then boom.
We already
Yeah.
have the how to install Kubeflow page.
Right. No, Andre, I think we just need to focus there. I think that
Yeah.
is good,
Yeah.
right? And
I think linking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay, so let's move on because
Yeah, because Bob is going to look at this, and I'm going to be like, "Is this installation page enough?" And then he's going to say,
Yeah,
"Yes."
and,
it is.
and,
then
if
we
Bob
move on.
says like it is not enough, we can just improve this page, right?
Right,
Correct.
exactly. That way,
Correct.
we're not wasting time.
correct.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Yeah, and every time we update that page, it always results in
Okay, anyway,
so much
so-
discussion.
no,
So, yeah.
it's okay. We can
It's
make
okay.
it there.
Is anything else that we wanted to discuss?
I think maybe one question for the security. So George, I know there is self-assessment and there is third-party audit. Like, is it two different things? Like, are they two different things?
Yes. Yes. The self-assessment is a thing that you do as a project, and then the contractor that gets to do the security audit will take all the information in that self-assessment and then figure out how to make the audit.
So the doc that those contractors gave us, is it like the self-assessment, or it's different one?
That's a
Is it-
questionnaire that they gave us, and
Yeah.
it's like it's not really a self-assessment as much as
Right.
a questionnaire.
Think of the self-assessment as coaching them to what to look for, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what
but the
you're saying.
questionnaire is actually coaching them to what to look for. Like, maybe I
Here's
missed
the
something.
self-assessment.
Yeah. And I remember, I can't find it now. I'm sure one of you has it.
I have it shared like literally on my screen right now.
No, someone was working on this in progress somewhere in Kubeflow.
Oh! I think
Yeah.
Julius had said something about it. Is that right?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's 90% and we just got to finish it off, or if it's like
Julius,
totally out
you're
of
on
date.
mute. Are you available at the moment?
Yeah. I think I was working through the checklist once, the security checklist, and I answered most of that at least for platforms. So I think I can do so again and just copy it over. And I also answered the open source dispatch to 75%.
So, Julius, the question is like, so is it different from the doc that I shared from Mostif?
Can you repeat the question but talk slow?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the doc, let me post it here. So this doc, right?
Oh, this is a self-assessment. This is the doc that we're supposed to like create out of.
No. So who's sharing the screen right now? It's
I am.
So for instance, if we go to back to the Kubeflow nodes.
Yep.
If you scroll a bit down here, security audit. Yeah, this one. Can you open this doc?
Yeah.
So Julius, are you talking about this doc? Or are you talking about something else?
No, this is Ostif.
Yeah. Yeah, that had nothing to do with me.
We had something else. I think on GitHub we had this list of checkboxes that I went.
Yeah, we
The
do.
GitHub issue probably by Francisco.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
That one's the security one that because I just attempted to it's this one. Yeah.
Tarek makes a good point. We might want to grab this label and organize it into a board so you can top to bottom, left to right. Up to you.
Yeah, maybe. This is the one that I think Julius is referring to. Is that right?
Yeah, can you zoom in here? Sorry, I'm old.
Yeah, I think there was another one where I already answered most of the questions, and someone else
There it is.
pasted
Document
everything
security
in.
self-assessment. Do you see that? That's one of the steps there. Yeah.
Yeah, this self-assessment.
Yeah.
I showed this before, yeah. So
this is kind of what I'm saying. Like, I don't think we can easily do this with GitHub. Like, I think if we do, we're gonna. What I'm saying is, I think we can very easily do it with HackerOne. That's what I'm trying to say, and I think we should at least look at it. And then if we don't like it, sure. But is everyone okay with us applying directly to HackerOne to get access? Because they'll give it to us immediately.
But we
You
still
can do what you want. I would just fill out the form, man.
Oh no, but we still need the process. Like, I want the process as well. Like, it's
Yeah, I get it.
like.
but the question is like, so, but in any case, even HackerOne or GitHub, we need people who do triaging, right?
Right.
And that makes it easier if it's like HackerOne polls you as well and things like that, and helps make sure the user who reports it knows that they're actually being listened to, and won't do something rash.
You still need people, right? Like you still
That
need.
doesn't. But yes, but like processes do help find the right people as well sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel again. Don't you think this could be kind of the next step for us to do, once we have at least something?
Well, we have something for some projects though, right now.
No, we don't have anything right now.
Well, some projects have it, like Pipelines has their own security process.
No, what is the security process for
They
pipelines?
use a GitHub one, but again, no
No,
one has any visibility.
who is triaging this Git?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need the security team to be the first point of triage.
Yeah, this
That's
is the
kind of-
problem. We don't have any project within Foundation who right now does this, right?
And that's what I want to. I want that to exist, but I think that to make that, I think the best one of the ways we could do it is to have a tool that's not directly connected to having high level permissions on the repo.
Okay, so
well, so we got this one at least to start. Let me remove this. But yeah,
they all have labels. Tarek is correctly point the issues if you want to find them.
That project will be not visible by default, I think, unless you change the settings.
Anyways, I think we can discuss that ASIC.
Yeah, so we have like 20 more minutes. So can we define the tasks? So there are 3 tasks right now. We need to fill the questionnaire, right? This one in the Google Doc to the next week.
But we have to do this for every sub project, right?
It's like where it makes sense from my perspective, right? Where it makes sense, we can, like, for example, installation page. We can just put them installation page, right, and let them review, right?
Yeah.
Should we not have some editorial, a little bit editorial, being like Kubeflow has multiple options. Here's the link to the page. Yeah.
No, we can just link in the page and let Bob see
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Also, remember it's a working document. You could put a bracket and says we don't actually have this, but we're working on it, and then we'll just come back to it later. Yeah,
that's right.
Is this Kubeflow level graduation?
Sure.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think that's right.
But before anyone has great ideas, we are not making 5 copies of these applications.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Then
All right.
Like,
let's not.
All right.
Yeah.
No. Happy. I just
right. Like if you say a thing that you say like 5 of the things do it except pipelines, and then we just leave that a to do : then we know we'll come back to it and
we're
that kind of thing.
Time on.
Part of me thinks that this we can solve that problem, like you're saying, George, by just saying we have 6 projects and 3 levels of maturity or something. You know what I mean? New, stable, and whatever. You know what I mean? And then just be like stable.
Do we really need it, Matthew? Like if CNCF doesn't.
Yeah. I would say leave it undefined.
Why are we trying to create like more complexity? I understand like your kind of point is about model registry, mainly developed by Red Hat, or do you have any other?
It's more like just new stuff, right? It's like notebooks is new, model registry is new.
From these 6 projects, can you just give example? What are your concerns?
Well, no, the concern is just that like, what is the? It's like when a user uses a new project, there is a different level of expectation, right?
Yep.
And that expectation should be reflected in what we're presenting to the CNCF. Like, it's not because Kubeflow is more than one project. That's kind of the fundamental concern.
Yeah,
it's like
6 projects. Yeah.
But it's like, do we want? I'm just worried that in the case that they view every single project as a production-ready, battle-tested thing.
We shouldn't solve for the worst case. Let's
right.
Yeah. And then we can go.
Remember, Matthew. Like, I'm sorry to keep interrupting here. we need to see where we are, right? Like, and we do not yet have visibility on how far along yet we are, right? That's why I'm like,
Yeah. So again,
fill out as many checkboxes as you can. The ones that are solid X's, we can ignore. The ones that are wishy-washy or maybe only half of the projects do it, we know that, and then we note it down, right? And then just every week we continue to iterate. Does that sound fine?
Yes. Again, I think it will
Yeah.
be again a continuous journey here, especially for the such complex, foundation ecosystem wherever we
Right.
call Kubeflow is, right?
Right.
But to just reach this stage in terms of CNCF expectation, we should just move forward with what we have right now, right? And
Yeah.
again, as we discussed last week, it doesn't mean we can define our own way to graduate new project, right? You
Right.
discussed last week, right? We can
Right.
do what we want within the community, right?
Because
Yeah.
let's say we start going through these items and then we realize that one of the 6 components is the one always failing it, right? Then you might want to say, I don't know, do we want to say this one isn't graduating and then punt that?
Yeah.
Right.
And again, I think for CNCF, it doesn't matter. Kubeflow is a foundation, right? A Kubeflow is the like an ecosystem.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. You tell me what to care about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
So
whole
don't
I-
add more criteria. I guess is
Exactly.
what I'm trying to say until like we see where we're at, right? But like everything
Do-
you're talking about is important.
Do
It's just
bare
whether it's
minimum-
important for the application that we need to worry about.
Yeah. Do bare minimum what CNCF is asking you to do. I think after that, let's add the other things after the first phase.
But I mean, like, we also do need to have answers. Whether or not it's part of graduation, we do need to have answers to these questions, right? Like,
Oh, I agree.
When we get up on
But Matthew,
stage and a lot of
I'm saying
eyes
the
are looking at
CNCF
us,
is not the audience there. Right? We will see, right? And
Yeah.
separately we'll
Sure.
tackle that. But again, in this process, we should
Let's not mix being effective right now with distractions for the future. It's like
Yeah.
I think we're mushing these things, and it's just super confusing.
There's like 5 years of duct tape we're trying to rip off here. So like,
Yeah.
this is gonna suck.
a lot of eyes are going to be on us when we graduate. Is kind of what I'm saying.
Oh yes, that's why I want to get these done now. That's why we need to see where we're at.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
let's hope that we get to the place where there are a lot of eyes on us and talking about it, right?
I didn't know the security self-assessment wasn't done at incubation. Like
I believe actually we did do something, but I don't know. I found it. There was a doc originally, but I don't know where it was.
yeah, well, whatever that is, we need to normalize it.
Can we delegate tasks right now at least?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start assigning bodies.
I know we have some small tasks that maybe we can delegate some. I know some folks from Red Hat wants to help, right? So David, about your question around like you want to have a new repo, right? Like, do you think it works for us to spend cycles on this? My only kind of question. I know we want to preserve the history. It's a good thing. But do we really need to start a new repo for it, or we can just use the community?
My argument for a new repo is just that it's all in one place, and it's a record of just this entire process, right? It's not lost in the community repo where you have to go search for it. It's not divided between the community repo with things that are tagged and a Google Doc. It's all in one place, and we can then make it easier to track issues and track where we are on each issue, because it's all in one repo, and you don't have to go look at the community repo and then remember that you have to search for only the tags that are associated with this. And I forgot to tag this issue with the right tag, and so it doesn't show up. All that.
Yeah.
We have it all in one place.
I
Single
think
source of truth.
I think it's
I think
unlikely
we
to
can
work.
treat this project plan within GitHub as a single source of truth because it can just loop it all in.
Because they could be on other repos. Like my concern is that there could be tasks on
This goes
repos.
across. You can
Yeah.
you can other issues.
That's what I'm saying. Like there could be tasks on this 12 or so repos, right?
Right, and we can simply put a link to those tasks in
Well, anywhere.
in the graduation repo that points to that task in that other project repo.
That's
right?
pretty much what
But
that thing that
but the
Francisco
march to
just
graduation has one
Yeah,
single source of truth.
that's what you can do here.
Yeah, I'd say like making a new repo is also a little bit more complicated than it should be, for permission and security reasons. But like, I let's see if this works. That's what I'm saying. I think first.
Yeah. See
Yeah,
what you
I
can
think
pull
like since
from
we
all.
have 1.5 more months, what it's like we in July we need to have something. I just try to us be really focused right now and really try to do this as fast as we can, right?
Yeah. So like
Most of it's this doc, right? Most of it's this doc anyway, right?
yes,
Yeah, I
this
think this is for
GTR.
GTR. We have more kind of small issues that we need
What
someone
was the
to.
other? Didn't you have another doc you had to fill out, George?
The actual
Oh, that was-
application itself, the GTR,
No, this
and the
is like
security
the technical
self-assessment are
aspect,
the
right?
three things.
That's what I mean.
What?
But the actual, how big is the actual application? Is there hundreds of other questions in there or not?
Go back, would you?
I think it's at the top.
Yeah, it's headed up most of the call. We can close that questionnaire. Let's not look at that ever
Yeah.
again.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's at the first GitHub issue that's linked at the top under
Tracking. Oh no, that's the adopters one.
858.
858 or 859? Oh yeah, 858. 858. Okay. Yeah.
And then so there's another application here that needs its own doc. That's what I'm saying. Or maybe needs.
So this is the graduation proposal, and the GTR is a section of this. It's just split
under,
out separately.
Further down, right? Scroll down.
Scroll down.
It's the
This
next.
is-
No. So there's a whole another markdown file.
That's the old one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right there. This is the actual application itself.
So is it just a checkbox, or do we need to write words under each one?
Well, it depends.
We should probably track it in some form then, right? Like
So from
Review
my
project moving level evaluation.
Yeah.
So this we need as well into
as a
new
doc to write docs.
Yeah, I would say this is your most.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do Google Docs, you should have 3 Google
Yeah,
Docs. One for the GTR, one for this.
why do we need Google Doc for other things? Because we already have issues with it. Like,
Okay, well, if you have issues with,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
sure
mean,
if you all prefer GitHub or
Shouldn't
Google
we want
Docs.
to
So
have
I'm,
comments?
if you want.
No?
yeah.
I thought we were gonna have this a doc so that people could collaborate to fill
no,
out.
collaboration is only required for George tasks that he created for GTR. For other things, it's just check marks we need
Well,
to
but
do.
under this as well, like it's like required, right? I don't know
Well,
that one.
let's read one. Let's look.
Yeah. I reviewed that's a text. Okay, this template provides project with
All project metadata and wait, let's just find one right there.
this is just a checklist. Yeah, this is fine. We don't need a doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like this is what I want to talk about. So there are some small issues we need people to work on, right?
How do we
Right,
know
Right.
which
We need to
ones
start
of
getting these boxes checked.
I'm saying, how do we know which ones of these? Like, should we have like a thing where it's like people comment this, like
Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
yes, yes.
This is what Valentina has done, right? Again, if you
Yeah.
go to the issues, Francisco, to for example 852.
Yeah, 852 here, graduation.
Ecosystem, right? So we need people who can start picking some of those tasks, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
need to start assigning people. Right.
Oh, we are
should
actually
just have
almost.
we should just have each
did-
maintainer say yes and then link to the proof. You know what I mean? Isn't that the logical?
That's fine.
Whatever. It just someone needs to do it. I think I created a PR for the adopters for
Governments.
notebooks.
Governments. You created.
I did
right?
governance. I also did adopters for pipelines and notebooks. Matthew, I think you commented on the notebooks one. Did that one get merged?
Eder made a comment as well. Maybe just check his comment before you.
No, I did. I updated it according to that one too.
Oh, okay.
Or I'll just merge it myself. You can pick.
Oh, no, don't mention it quite yet. Let's check because I think Eder made a comment a few minutes ago. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, did he? Let me see.
Yeah, check them boxes. Yeah.
Added
Because if we
adopter.
get all the easy ones out of the way, Andre, then we
Actually,
know
a
what
bunch
the
of your
real-
internal
real
people
thing
made
is.
comments. Let's just come back to that. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I want that merged
I
as
think
well.
that's fine. I think this is the easiest one. Do you have any tasks that we need to assign?
There's now a lot of issues. How are we going to find all of them?
No, it's everyone is in the project that Francisco just created, right? Like contributors and community. Let me add this to this CNCF graduation.
Let's add it to the doc. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Francisco, can you add an item to the board for me?
Which yeah.
2-minute item here.
Which one?
Doc review with CNCF.
Can someone add
And
it
then
to the
assign
thing?
that. I will handle this.
Wait,
Where's can someone link the project, or is it the one
link
that was
issue?
linked?
Doc review. With...
Yep.
I think there's
CNCF.
quite a few missing there.
Yeah. David and
Okay, I'll
Dominic.
add-
I will just remove some of those issues, Francisco. We don't need them. For example,
It's Castro Jo will be me. Yeah.
It's because you're not. You just have to comment on it.
Yeah. So I'm looking with help of this one. I have a documentation guy at the CNCF, and by doing this review, we'll be able to answer some of these questions. I just need someone to liaise with him, and I know the steering committee is too busy. So this is something that can happen in parallel and will help fill out some of the other stuff. But this is not writing documentation for Kubeflow. It's more like working with Nate, figuring out the major components are. This is the final list of components. This is what steering wants to say. So I'm looking for volunteers for that can work.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 10 issues, right now. One is
Yeah.
engineering principles. We don't need them, right? We can remove them from the, because there's the same as GTR, right? Engineering principles, or I'm wrong. Like
There are some questions with overlap. Well, you'll be able to.
No, but so your GTR, it's kind of a new issue, right? For engineering principles. You said it's replaced, right?
Yes, engineering principles should not be anywhere. Should all
remove it.
just say GTR.
So I think just yeah, go ahead. No, I just want to say do we have small tasks for which we can assign people right now? I think GTR is up to community to collaborate in the Google Doc, right?
Mm-hmm.
For security review, we already started this with Ostif, and for self-assessment, right? I know, Julius, you're working on something, right? Can you give a little bit about what you're specifically working on the security side?
I mean, I did work on the checklist that could send me all the basic stuff about network encryption, what security standards, stuff like this. I haven't yet filled out the OSTIF stuff. I'm still busy with my GSOC students.
Mm-hmm. So it's part of the 850, right? Tasks, you mean? Sorry, 851. 851. Because I guess OpenSSF batch is the one thing we need to do for 6 projects. And there are 6 more checkboxes we need to fill, right?
So to get that report process, is everyone okay if I do ask HackerOne to give us an account that we put into the one?
If they do quick, I mean,
sure, man. Yeah.
Because I feel like that, because otherwise we're going to be setting up a report. How are we going to set up a report process to tick that box? Because ticks that box.
And Kubernetes also uses this, right? From my understanding.
They've been using it and Google uses it as well.
And we need to have a Google group, right? The security Google group, isn't
That's
it?
something we should. We should form a security committee, probably.
But this ACL we already have.
No, that's not what we're talking about though. It's that top one.
Sorry. Oh, achieving OpenSSF. Yeah.
No. The second one. That one.
Do you have security contacts? Do you have security contacts turned on in GitHub?
I'm sorry. Can you say that?
Do you have security contacts where in the GitHub org you could set a hierarchical group with permissions and stuff? Do you have that?
Are you asking does GitHub have that, or are you asking do we have that?
Do you have that in GitHub?
So each project, so the GitHub treats security reports as a per repo thing. And so some repos have it enabled, yes. But again, we don't want to use issues because obviously issues are public and they don't allow for responsible disclosure. But
all right.
All right,
we'll look at that one. Well, if we know that the second one is a check, I think we should talk about that one and click it. Can we click it?
Yeah. The ACL says we can click it already. So
I'm just trying to get boxes checked. That's all I'm here for, man.
Mighty, again, I don't really understand. If the GitHub is just one checkbox for us to move forward, why we don't want to do it right now? Do you have any concerns with it? Strong objections?
The checkbox says clearly defined and discoverable report process.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, check the boxes that we know we have first.
Think about it from an actual, this is from an actual security perspective. This is one of the only ones that actually matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get that we have to do that. Yeah.
Whether or not it's related to this, we don't have a robust process yet. And clearly
people can file a GitHub issue. That's a great process.
Do not file a GitHub issue if you have a security issue. Please do not file a GitHub issue. Oh my God.
It depends on which one. It's
depends
on the vulnerability. Yeah.
In general, please do not. If you're listening.
There you go. Here's another one right there. Publicly documented list of adopters. We have them. They're just not in.
No,
Some of them are in better shape than others.
There's only one outstanding, and if Matthew Wicks decides to approve
Come
my
on,
PR,
dude.
No, no,
Yeah.
it's not me.
I've already responded to all the feedback.
Okay,
on
okay. Can we?
Yeah.
Okay, if I agree with some of the feedback, so yeah, okay, let's check.
Here, you know what? I'm gonna wait for you to.
If y'all wouldn't mind prioritizing things that
fine.
gets those boxes checked.
That's fine. I agree with that now. I'll merge it as long as everyone's happy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Not everybody has.
I mean,
that is a strong view I have.
Okay. Whoever was going to send this to the Discuss mailing list, whoever took that item, please also notice to mention, you say something like, if you're a Kubeflow end user, you know, we're going to want to talk to you, all that stuff, because you are going to start to round up interviewers for the talk and stuff.
The project provided by the talk list of documents.
Yeah. Because what we want is end users and people using Kubeflow to also watch this process and give you feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to have some sort of announcement to the Kubeflow Discuss about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just say, hey, look, we're powering through this. Now's the time. If you're quietly using Kubeflow, now's the time to raise your voice. That kind of stuff.
Add yourself to those lists, right? I think the first step is if they can get themselves added to the users of the list of Kubeflow, the one of the list. That's like if they can't do that, then they're never going to be a useful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Because part of the thing I want to use with the docs thing is do that workflow. Like I'm going around asking for resources, and like a lot of people are having a hard time figuring out how to join a meeting. So we got to get that LFX widget to join the community meeting or whatever thing they have in a more public place. That's why I want to do the doc review.
You can already join the. You should be able to join the meetings from the calendar on the website, at least.
Yeah, I had to join a Google group, and then like 15 meetings showed up on my calendar. So like we need to.
Okay, but how do we solve that? How do you solve?
Oh, we could just use like the modern LFX embedding tools and all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll never get just chance.
We don't have to talk about that now, but what I'm saying, onboarding stuff like that, we should.
Yes, yeah. So who can send this email to the Kubeflow Discuss?
What are they saying as well? What are they saying?
We need to call out for end users to update adopters list and just to.
Okay, yes. Link to those 6, link to that root adopters file and say, please update on the relevant one. And maybe we should merge. Let's merge the notebooks one, and then we should add the notebooks as a link on that main one, and then we should send it out.
Yeah. Yeah, we have this in the. Yeah, good.
I mean, maybe one suggestion as well that because maybe if they are not already like in our meetings or in our Google Groups chat as well, maybe it's good that we announce this also via LinkedIn or something like that. That would get more visibility, I would say, like instead of the Google Group as well.
Yeah.
Like not instead, but I mean beside it, so to say.
Just to clarify, George, we don't need to link these, right? He's ticking all these boxes. We don't need to link proof, right?
I'm gonna look at some of the examples, but like I think it's part of the due diligence. I don't think it hurts if I was making an application. I would give myself proof. Yeah.
Okay. This one actually the contributors and communities completely.
Yeah, I think we can tackle all these checkboxes to be honest.
Governance, yes, that's done.
Because remember when the talk is like going through this and stuff, having a little link to like, and here's what it looks like. It's more that extra little flex. Basically make it so the talk doesn't have to ask you questions when they read it, right? Like.
So, but George, do you mean, so you still need links, or do you? Like,
I would for the important one, like the ones that's like has adopters MD. Like anyone could go look and find your adopters MD, but like some of these, let me see.
Should they be linked here in this repo? Or
then we will create.
So I don't know in the actual application. Let me look. I'm gonna look at an example. Continue talking amongst yourselves. But I would think you'd at least be able to answer the question.
Yeah, I'm going to.
And also the community page probably on that one.
CNCF talk.
I'm gonna do the individual. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? That's great.
Yeah.
Because each one.
Oh, we should actually add an adopters section of the community website section. Why don't we do that?
That's right. What a great idea. Yeah.
Great idea. Let's put that later. Okay, so we have governance. CNCF is cross-link documentation adoption. Yeah, code and Docker.
Yeah. Put that as a nice to have. It'd be nice to get Nate's help on that. Maybe we can do it for you.
Oh yeah, awesome project.
Yeah, I think so. OpenTelemetry, for example, they added some links. So I think like when we do checkboxes, it's better to just put some links there, at least some examples from Cisco, right?
What's that?
Like if you for example open some of the this is OpenTelemetry application, right?
Where?
In the Zoom chat.
Oh, here we go.
So if we scroll to
Oh yeah, people are leaving notes. I'm gonna put this in chat. This is Knative's application.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they
Otherwise
just
it's
leave
like-
one sentence and like link to a GitHub issue. That's not as
pretty much what I was expecting, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
you just link to something that proves it, and then it's
right.
Does that link go somewhere? Yes.
No.
Okay, good.
I guess just like as long as we fill this questionnaire for GTR, we can start to fill this application for Kubeflow, right?
Yeah, I would do both of them at the same time. You're submitting them both at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's fill this questionnaire this and next week at the Google Doc. At least maybe, give our initial thoughts and ask for the feedback from the community.
Right.
And then we can start with the application, right?
Yep.
Makes sense. So
and then
yeah.
say something if you're using Kubeflow in production and you'd like to be submitted as an interviewer with the CNCF talk this summer, just say this summer. Right.
I'd say first step is we will ask them to put it on the adopters file, because if they can commit to that, then they can probably do the other part too.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you end up with a organization that wants to do it, but they don't want to mention their logo and stuff, we can work with them on that. So if you have a secretive, we do that all the time. So like if you have someone that's would be a great interviewer, but they don't want to be mentioned, we can work with them on that.
But that's.
I recommend finding a petroleum company.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, so we have.
Oh man, we're over on time. Okay.
Yeah,
we made a lot of progress today. I know this is gnashing of teeth. Like this is just normal open source. Like it's gonna be okay.
Run.
Yeah.
We did get a lot done.
Yeah.
We're closer than we thought.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I wanted to know. Yeah.
I'm also just applying to HackerOne, and I'll reach out directly to like their CEO.
Yeah,
or
and again,
just to confirm it gets processed.
Just for everyone that said, like as George said, like we try to do this as fast as we can. It doesn't mean like it will be forever with us, right?
Yeah.
It's just giving more visibility of value of what we do for the cloud native community, right? And attract more users, right? But we can change it, after.
Yeah. It's like, and I've been the loudest about Feast, but I'm willing to concede, like, let's punt it. So, like, please, I hope that everybody understands that we just need to graduate.
Yeah. Once we graduate, well, we'll talk about this later. Once we graduate, a lot of things will change for the better. Like,
yeah.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Love you all. Yep. Bye.
Thank you, Tarek.